Welcome back to another episode of BNN Now, the Rising Phoenix edition. I'm your host, IFBB Pro Danielle Willis, and I am sitting with my special guest, women's bodybuilder, Olympian, Chelsea Dion. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's nice to have you back on, and it's been great just following your journey this year. You've had quite the year from winning Europa and not sure whether you were going to do the show, and then you did the show, you won the show. Now you've done the Rising Phoenix, and now we're getting ready for the Olympia again. So let's talk a bit about the Rising Phoenix experience for you. This was your second one. So tell everybody about this one for you.
That show is amazing. It's always a great show to do the Rising Phoenix. It's always an honor. But I went into the show kind of like whatever happens, happens. To come up with a top 5 was just beyond my expectations, and it just really like set my year from like here to way up here. So no matter what happens the rest of the year, I've had the best year of my life. The Rising Phoenix, it was such a competitive lineup. Like the quality of athletes were just, it was there. I was worried, I was like, what? I just want to place higher than I did last year, which was 8th place. And so to get called in the first call out, at first, she was like, okay, Mayla Ash, Michaela, Chelsea. And I'm like, oh shit. Put us through the lineup, and they, put me next to Andrea for a full like post through. And that right there was like validation that like, okay, just keep on pressing on, and one day your time will come. But for now, I don't mind being where I'm at for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, at your age, and we've said it before, this is a long game with women's bodybuilding. You've got that time. So the fact that you now where you are, and you have the vision, and being able to be on that stage, with Andrea and all the ladies again, and then being rotated with them, that should feel pretty good to see where you've come this year all the way to now. I mean, it's great to see you in good spirits and really enjoying this ride. From winning in Europe to Rising Phoenix, can you talk about that process and that little time frame that you had to get your body a little tighter, a little better for the show?
Yeah, so in Spain, I came in just enough to win, right? So the 2 weeks after that, I just pressed on, kept dieting, and this time we kind of started the carb up process a little earlier than we normally do. Right before prejudging, I was like, I look okay. Like I don't look how I want to look. But then once I started my pre-pump up, eating my snacks and starting to pump up, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, man, I am like pumped for once. Like, you look fucking good. I was like, look in the mirror, like, okay, like whatever. Like I have a pump for once. And it really made a difference in my physique, I think. And I wasn't so flat. And, me and my coach haven't quite nailed that yet, but we are figuring it out. And when we do nail like being nice and full, like it's going to be game over. So it was a good step in the right direction. And I am really happy with how I ended up looking.
Sometimes it just, it takes being on the actual stage and getting that feedback for us to go, okay, either we are or we aren't. And that's the key thing you touched on, working on getting it right. And that's a process that it takes time, for people to say that, you can get with a coach and nail it down. And our bodies are constantly changing too. As we go on this journey, we're putting on more tissue, putting on more size, all those things, that those variables come into play when it comes to show day. Last year, did the Olympia, placed in the top 10, rising top 5. So what are your thoughts going into this year's Olympia?
Well, top 5 at the Olympia would be absolutely fucking amazing. So that is the ultimate goal. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be up there, but I am going to give it like my all. The next 4 weeks, like I am doing everything I possibly can. Like before I got on stage for the Rising Phoenix, I said a little like prayer or whatever you want to call it to like my mom and grandma. And I'm like, I know you guys are watching out for me. And, you know, if we could just get me just a top 5 at the show, I promise I'm going to work my hardest for the Olympia. I promise. You guys, I promise, you know, because I swear my mom and my grandmother are just up there watching, you know. And so with that top 5, I said, okay, it's time to work harder. You know, I told them I was going to, so I'm giving it my all now. And top 5 would be amazing.
And I'm sure, you know, they had a little extra hand. I always feel that our parents are no longer with us, right? If you call on them, most of the time they pull in some favors for us. Any last words from what we can expect going into this next Olympia from Chelsea Dion?
Well, it's going to be the best Chelsea Dion we've seen. I mean, the goal is to always be our best. But I really want to end the year on the highest note possible. And I'm going to give you guys a show. I have a great posing routine in the works. And I'm really excited to showcase that. And I'm just ready to go show up and show out like I love to do and have a good time and hopefully place in the top 5.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I know your fans are excited. BNN will be there, making sure that we get as much as we can covering the ladies. And it'll be exciting to see all of you show up, show out, and just living your best lives on stage. So that's it for my time right now. BNN Now's Danielle Willis. Thank you again to my special guest, Chelsea Dion, fresh off her top 5 at the Rising Phoenix and getting ready. We are 25 days out from this year's, I know, I can't believe it. I'm like, didn't we just have, right, an Olympia? And now we are 25 days out from the 2023 Olympia. So we will be seeing Chelsea in Florida, and we will be bringing more coverage from the Rising Phoenix, and we've got some more coverage coming up for the Olympia. I'm really excited. So please stay tuned, click the link, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you soon.